Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. There is some news today. So I'm just gonna give it some time, wait for some people to get on. I had just gotten done doing a video, like a 1 hour video. I'll publish it after this, Um, and then I saw an email from somebody. It was from Mrs. Chef Yoda. She's a regular on the channel. And she emailed me about the Georgia Guidestones being bombed. And then after they were bombed, because the structure was unsteady, it was completely demolished. So some of you may know what it is. Some of you may not, but we are going to talk about it. I apologize about the background. We moved rooms. We had the master bedroom, but then we have this other room that we were using as like the living room, but it wasn't being used and it's larger. And so we decided to move our room into here. And so the wall behind me is going to change. We have this like beadboard that we're going to put up. That's a lot nicer looking. So right now it's all junky looking and I apologize about that. Excuse me. So as we're getting people here in the chat, for those of you that are here, let me know. Do you know what the Georgia Guidestones are? Put a Y if you know what it is, a Y for yes or an N for no. I would like to know if you guys know what the Georgia Guidestones are. So let me know. We're going to do a little bit of research on this, and I'll show you what I've found so far. Give me just 1 second here. MJ says no. Okay, it looks like that is working. So probably a lot of people aren't really aware what the Georgia Guidestones are unless you follow what we call in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints secret combinations. Secret combinations. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen what they looked like as they were being demolished. All right. You see that there? Okay. So MJ says no. Ray Morgan says yes. Sherry Kennedy says no. All right. Now I was surprised. Now this is down in Georgia. Heidi Gentry says no. Okay, if you're just joining us, put yes if you know what the Georgia Guidestones are. Put no if you don't know what they are. There's breaking news today. They got bombed. It got bombed. And because afterwards, after one of the stones came down, it was unstable. And so they had to completely demolish it. Michael Whipple, I'm not one for public destruction, but I'm not sad about this. And no, neither am I. And that is if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, ideally that is your, how you view this. We don't advocate for violence. We don't advocate for, destruction of property. It doesn't matter how bad the thing is, even it could be the worst thing ever. We don't do that. We follow the laws, right? So this should not be viewed as like, a big like celebratory thing, but I'm not sad at the same time. Melissa Wilson knows what they are. Deborah Harris, no. Vinyl SP, yes. Okay. Let me check and see how many people we have here right now. 38. I'm going to give it just like another minute or two, because there might be some more people that hop on. But, and then just to explain again, I changed rooms. And so that's why I have a different background. We are now in a different room. And this is a room that we are, we're renovating. This ugly faux rock behind me, that's going to be removed. And we're going to put up nice, like this shiplap stuff that it looks like white boards. So it's going to look really nice once it's done. So I apologize that it looks all junky behind me. Teresa Lane says no. While we're waiting, put where you're from. Where's everybody from? I know some of you. I'm starting to like remember some people. There's some people here I don't think I really recognize. But where is everybody from? If you're new to the channel, I am in Kansas, about an hour outside of Kansas, or sorry, the Wichita area in Kansas. I'm about an hour away from Wichita. Megan is here from Georgia. Michael Whipple, Texas. Cindy Lou W, go shiplap. MJ's from Midvale. That's just south of my hometown. My hometown is Murray, Utah. Melissa Wilson, Tennessee. Cindy Lou W, Alberta. Crochet Mama, Southeast Missouri. Rebecca, North Carolina. Percept is from Georgia. Okay, that's where this news is coming out of. It's coming out of Georgia. Deborah Harris, Arkansas. Percept says, about an hour away from the Guidestones. Oh my gosh. So, Percept, have you actually gone and visited it? Like, have you been to the site? Teresa Lane, Chesapeake. It's in Southeast Virginia. The Greatest Cause is here. He's from Utah. Sam Lee, Texas. Laurie S. Nice Wainer, I think, Missouri. Maricel Lira, Texas. Sherry Kennedy, North Alabama. Used to live in Atlanta back in the late 90s. Okay. Let me check and see how many we have now. Okay, I think this is probably a good number. Okay, so again, I'm going to take you to this image again. Switch the window here. Okay, so this is the Georgia Guidestones as they're being demolished. Okay, I believe there were 4 of these like main slabs, and then this one right here that's falling. It's like a center support. So one of the slabs was bombed and destroyed. The other 3 still stood, but because of instability, they decided for safety reasons to demolish the Guidestones. These are sometimes referred to as America's Stonehenge. However, if you've been in the world of exploring secret combinations and modern day Gadianton robbers, you're sure to come across this topic. So what are they? What are the Georgia Guidestones? I'm going to go to Wikipedia for this. Okay, so I'm going to start by what does it say? What does it say on the stones? So each one of these slabs right here, each side is a different language. Okay. And let me see what the languages are. Let's see. Language. Okay. Guidestone languages. Okay. So the languages are English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Aramaic, Chinese, and Russian. Okay. So on each one of those slabs, it basically has like a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a 10 commandments or 10 points to guide humanity. Okay. So this is like something that's supposed to guide humanity. Now, what I've heard, and it may say it on this article here, is that, the original intention of this was to, in case there was like a nuclear holocaust and, humanity just got almost obliterated, that this would be a guide to those people, like a 10 rules that the surviving people should follow to rebuild civilization. But I think there's different, theories about that. But okay, so number 1, and you'll get to like understand why maybe some people don't like these stones. Number 1 is maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Okay, so that gives you a taste right off the bat. It's like what these are about, it seems. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So what are we at right now in terms of humanity? What is the world population? Um, so 2020, 7.7 billion. So by my calculations, compared to how many people are alive right now, most of them will have to go away to get down to 500 million, right? So that's a little troubling because again, there's theories that no, it's not about if there's like a disaster, it's something else. Number two, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. All right. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Now, recently on the channel, we've been talking about, it's come up a couple times. We've been talking about Saturday's Warrior. And you know that was kind of like one of the issues in Saturday's Warrior. Oh, my wife's here. She's going to be.
Can they see me?
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Just sit there.
Okay.
It's fine. So Saturday's Warrior, I remember very little from it because the last time I watched it, I was probably like 9 years old. But I do remember that like one of the main topics in there was the topic of scarcity, right? And human population. And that's a theme that you see time and time again as you look into secret combinations, and you get the idea that they don't want a lot of us around. Okay. That seems to be the ultimate goal. There's too many. That needs to be fixed. Okay, let me read some comments here. Sam Lee, if Beto becomes governor of Texas, then I'm moving to a different state. Michael Whipple, I saw this monument as part of the humanist movement. And it could be. The thing about it is that nobody knows exactly who made them. The people who funded it, created it, they're anonymous. Indy, oh my gosh, live Yahoo. Live Yahoo. Oh my gosh, live Yahoo. Okay, I got it. Ray Morgan, the names of 4 ancient languages are inscribed on the sides near the top. Babylonian cuneiform, classic Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. Percept End Times Productions has a great video on these guidestones. Yeah, there's like a lot of really good videos. I'm just going to briefly be talking about this just in case you don't know what they are. Okay, so let's get back to this. So number 3, unite humanity with a living new language. A living new language. Now, there was actually an effort to do that. If you haven't heard of it before, it's called Esperanto, I believe. And actually, so this is a made-up language. The idea was to create a one-world like language. Okay, Esperanto, artificial language constructed in 1887 by L.L. Zamenhof, a Polish person, and intended for use as an international second language. Okay, now that's just kind of like a random fact, but you know, you can see why people are kind of upset at that as well. So number 1 and 2 are a little troubling. You know, if you have a Christian background. Number 3 kind of as well, because we know that, you know, the powers in this world, they work in opposition to God. And we know that after the flood, everyone was of one language, and the people wanted to basically create a great civilization and make a name for themselves, right? You had Nimrod as their leader, and the Lord wasn't happy about that because it's more than just that. It has to do with power. It has to do with control. It has to do with doing life or doing things without God. And so you can see, you know, that this is almost like striving to get back to those Tower of Babel days, maybe. That might be one way that you could view this. Again, we don't know. We don't know who did this, who constructed these. It's anonymous. But so make of it what you will. Okay, Teresa Lane asks, where exactly are these stones located? They are in Georgia, and they are in Elbert County, Georgia. Elbert County, Georgia. Elbert County, Georgia. Let's look on the map right here. So it's in the northeast of Georgia, southeast of Atlanta, and it looks like it's on the border with South Carolina. Elbert County is. So that's where it's at. Just east of Athens, essentially. Okay. So let's go back. Okay, number 4. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Okay? Rule faith with tempered reason. That's not how faith is ruled. You don't rule faith. It seems like that has like a religious implication there. As in like create your own religion, or make sure that religion doesn't get out of hand or something like that. I don't know. You can interpret it how you want. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Okay, well, I think everyone can agree with that. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. So, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Okay, I'm not opposed to that necessarily. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. Balance personal rights with social duties. Like, who decides that? Who gets to? I guess the people do. I don't know. Let's see what we're saying here in the chat. David Evans. Yes, I've known for about 4 years. I live in Guam, from Evanston, Wyoming. Sherry Kennedy, kind of southeast of Atlanta, I think. Percept, Tower of Babel is equal to CERN. Yeah, there's a lot that you could talk about when it comes to that. Yep. In fact, we have touched on it a little bit on the channel. This is not a secret combination channel. I mostly focus on church things, church news, watching for the signs of the times, but it's kind of impossible to do that without occasionally talking about secret combinations and stuff like that. Melissa Wilson, I've always wondered why these stones were placed in Georgia. Yeah. Well, let me look at the map really quick, because there is a certain group in the world that really likes the number 33, and sometimes they do things on the 33rd parallel. For example, Dallas, Texas, there was something that happened there back in the 60s that shocked the nation, and it's on the 33rd parallel. But it looks like this probably is not on the 33rd. In fact, if we go, let's go back to the Wikipedia article. I saw the coordinates on there. It's on the 34th. So sorry, I can't go get too detailed because I can't upset the platform. But if you know, you know. If not, then maybe just do a little more research on your own. You have to be careful of what you say on these platforms. Phil and Malia waits. So many things happening. I'm intrigued by it all, especially CERN. Yeah. There's something weird about that. I'll tell you what. The location, we've talked about they have like a statue there, which was a gift from the Indian government, but it's a little ominous. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be too ambiguous for everybody, but I can't get in trouble. Teresa Lane, who owned the land they were placed on? That's the thing. I believe the entire thing, the land, the monument itself, it's anonymous. And I don't know too much how like deeds to lands work. I don't know if those are like, that's public information or how that works, but whatever the case, It's anonymous. A. Baker, do a straight line to UN building in New York, same shape to. Do a straight line to UN building in same shape to. Ted Turner. Okay. Well, yeah, the UN building, it's actually very similar. Excuse me, similar in shape to these. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. UN headquarters, New York. Images. It has like this weird kind of slab-like appearance. Let's just do the Wikipedia. Let's go here, pull this up. There's this wonderful building right here. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Sherry Kennedy, it's hilarious. The number 10 is leave room with nature while carved on 3 giant granite slabs. David Evans, if you know, you know. I like that. Yeah, I wish I could go deeper into it, but I can't. Teresa Lane, how can we find out more about these secret combinations that you speak of? It's everywhere. This particular platform that we're on right now used to be a lot more open with it, and you could talk about these things, but you have to go to other places now. A lot of people that used to talk about it really in depth, they have migrated to places like, I think, like BitChute and Rumble. So you just have to look around, and you can start small, because like when you start looking into it, it naturally branches out to other, theories, and some of them are really far out there, but you can see how they're all basically based on the idea that people lie. That there are powerful people, and guess what? They're not always honest about what they do behind the scenes. Shocking. People lie. And so you have to be careful. You can't go too deep into it, because I've seen people that it seems like they get really into modern day Gadiant robbers and secret combinations, and then they start questioning just all organizations. There's a lot. It seems like there's a lot of evangelical Christians that used to be of some denomination, but then they start not trusting anything, and so they just like go freelance, and they don't even go to church anymore. It's just them and the Bible and YouTube in a lot of cases. Okay, number 8. Oh no, okay, number 9. Prize truth. Yes. Beauty. Yep. Love. Seek harmony with the infinite. I think those are values everyone can agree with. Number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. So poetic. So, so you can see here that it's not all bad, but there are some really big question marks as to what is the philosophy that's guiding these guidestones that are supposed to guide humanity. It's puzzling. Excuse me. A lot of things that are like this, they usually like to do things like align them with the stars or the sun and stuff like that, and these were aligned. There's also this other thing. Okay, explanatory tablet. A few feet to the west of the monument, an additional granite ledger has been set level with the ground. The tablet identifies the structure and the languages used on it, and lists various facts about the size, weight, and astronomical features of the stones. So the alignments, right, with astronomical features. The date it was installed, and the sponsors of the project, although it doesn't give you a clue who it is, really. It refers to a time capsule buried under the tablet, but blank spaces on the stone intended for filling in the dates on which the capsule was buried and is to be opened have not been inscribed. So it's unclear when are you supposed to open the time capsule, or is this a thing where after there's a huge disaster, you obviously do it because there's been a huge disaster, and now you're using these stones as your guide to recreate civilization. Georgia Guidestones, center cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. Okay, so since 1980. Immediately below this is the outline of a square, inside which is written, let these be guidestones to an age of reason. And so I think from there that's where you get the name, the Georgia Guidestones. Let these be guidestones to an age of reason. Here's a picture, and this is what was being referred to earlier. In addition to those languages that we talked about, there's Babylonian cuneiform, Egyptian hieroglyphics, Sanskrit, and classical Greek. Okay. Excuse me. See, physical data. I'm not going to go through that. We looked at the languages. These are all like the largest. Well, let's take a look. What are the most spoken languages in the world? So we got English, Mandarin, Hindi, Spanish, French, Arabic, Bengali, and Russian. Let's look at more items. So these languages on here don't exactly line up. Of course, I don't know how different this was back in the 80s, but I wouldn't imagine it would be too different. Chinese, I'm assuming that would be Mandarin Chinese, because there is, I think, a couple different languages spoken there. Swahili, was that on here? Spanish, French, Arabic, Bengali, Russian, Portuguese, Indonesian. Let's go back here. So they have Spanish on here, but not Portuguese. So I guess my mother's language gets a pass. So who knows exactly how they chose these languages, but it seems like it probably had something to do with how many speakers of these languages there were in the 80s. Let's see, was Russian on here? Yeah, right now, Russian is at the number 8 spot with 258 million speakers. So Russian's on there. Interpretations. So I'll leave that to you to read. Not everything on Wikipedia is bad. Like, everyone always talks bad about Wikipedia as though you can't trust anything that's on here, but you can. You just need to do your due diligence and verify things with other sources. But for our purposes here, this is good enough. You can look into it more. Here's a picture of what it looked like when it was, before just yet today, I guess, because this happened last night. But yeah, so see here you have this would be the classic Greek up here, I believe. And then here's the whatever. And then there's this slit right here. I think that this has to do with seeing the sun when it's, whatever, probably a solstice, summer or winter solstice, or who the heck knows. I can't remember. I don't care. But, I've never had too warm of feelings for this. Just because of the implications of it. It sounds very kind of apocalyptic or restarting humanity based on these kind of weird values. And these values sound a lot like a certain, group of people that are really big into brotherhood and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay. Melissa Wilson, secret combinations to get gain. Yes. Phil and Molly awaits. Did someone blow it up? I've missed what happened to them. Yes. Somebody blew them up. They blew up one of them. One of these got completely destroyed. Now, there's actually a video. I'm not going to play it, but there's a security camera that I guess I didn't know was there, and it actually shows when it happened. Okay, I will put this in the chat. Okay, put that in the chat so you can go check it out. But yeah, you have the video here. An interesting thing that somebody pointed out on another YouTube channel is that this explosion, look what time it happened. Look at the time. Okay. Again, if you know, you know. But for certain secret combination groups out there, well, for one specifically, this is a very important number. This is like a critical number for that. Everything is based on this number for them. So I don't know if the people that did this are against this group, and so they're like, you know what? Let's set this to go off at 3:33. I don't know. Now they haven't caught who did it. There is in this same video, they have the car, I guess, the presumed car that the people were in that carried this out. So, but they haven't got anybody yet. Again, none of us here are celebrating the fact that there was vandalism and destruction done to private property. That's not what we're about as our church. It doesn't matter how bad the thing is. That's not the way to behave. But that's what happened. You can understand why there's a lot of people that are upset at these stones. It doesn't help that they're anonymous and they just came out of nowhere, seemingly. Here is a video. If you want to watch this, somebody was actually there as it was being demolished because they had to demolish it because it was unstable. So for safety purposes. So I'll put this in the chat. And by the way, if you're watching this after the live stream, just go to the description. Go to the description. I'll put all these links in the description below. So here's another video. I like this channel. The guy's a little goofy, but he does really good work on like tracking things like sun flares and things happening with the earth, earthquakes, and also occasionally stuff like this. I would recommend this channel. It's World News Report Today. Don't let his, kind of more unrefined character dissuade you. Well, I guess if you're okay with me, maybe you'll be okay with maybe you'll be okay with him. But as you can see, there's these 4 tablets. One of them got just completely destroyed. It also damaged this top, like, capstone thing right here. So yeah, there's been a lot of anger toward this thing for a long time, and I can't say that I'm surprised that this happened. Let's read a little bit about it. The GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, opposed to the Federal Bureau of, so the GBI releases surveillance videos of explosion at Georgia Guidestones, car speeding away. Elberton, Georgia. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has released surveillance videos of the explosion that destroyed the Georgia Guidestones monument and the moment a car sped away from the scene. This was Wednesday morning. So this morning, the bomb destroyed part of the mysterious structure, which was later demolished for safety reasons. And I provided the video for that. Thankfully, somebody was there to do that. Oh, and by the way, there's also another video. I have the actual, there was like a news, a news station, 11 Alive. I guess that's the name of the station. They show it here in the background. You can see that back there in the field. That's where they stood, and now it's just a pile of rubble. So I'll put that in the, that's going in the chat right now in case you want to check that out. It'll also be in the description. The monument, which was commissioned by anonymous patrons and erected in 1980, featured messages that some believe were meant to guide future generations. Now, let me just stop, okay? Regardless of who did this, regardless of who did it, regardless of whether this was put there by angels, it doesn't matter. It's human nature to be weary and not really like things that are ambiguous or mysterious or faceless, right? It gives you a sense of creepiness. It's not fun to not know why something is happening, especially something as ominous as this. Because then you start to like have all sorts of questions. It's like, whoever did this, do they have some kind of plan for humanity? What are their beliefs? Who are they? Why do they believe this? Why should we follow this? So people don't like what they don't understand. And sometimes we have to be careful with that because, you know, you don't want to like not like somebody simply because you don't know them, get to know them. But in this case, there's not a way to know who this is. So it just kind of leaves you with a creepy feeling. Other people saw the monument as having more sinister connotations, which have given way to rampant, you have to love the words that they use, rampant, we'll just say secret combination theories in recent months and for a long time. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is working to learn who detonated the bomb. It's unclear what charges potential suspects may face. And you have to wonder, okay, so obviously this wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap to make this. I don't know. I don't have any way to really estimate this. Maybe you can put it in the chat, like how much you think it would cost to do this. But I would guess maybe $1 million or more, maybe within the millions. I would assume. I think that these are made of granite. Let's find out. I think these are made of granite. Okay, the monument made from 6 granite slabs weighing 237,000 pounds. And this county, Elbert County, I think it's actually known because I was watching like another video and it was saying that they're known for their granite quarries, I guess, granite production. In fact, I think I saw something down here. Let's go to Elbert County and then let's type in granite. Sorry, give me just 1 second. The Granite Bowl. I don't know what that is. The Granite Bowl is the off-campus playing venue. Okay. Well, whatever the case, I thought I heard somebody say that they're like one of the biggest granite producing areas in the country, but whatever. Their thing, at least part of their identity, their, you know, area is granite. Okay. So it's interesting. So anyway, it must have cost a lot of money to do this. I don't know how much time it would take to do this. I don't know how hard it is to do this, but it's just weird. It's obviously not just something put up by a bunch of teenagers. Somebody really wanted this to be made. Again, why they chose that location, who the heck knows? What is their guiding philosophy? We don't know. I can only assume it has to do with, you know, secret combinations and the things that they believe. Okay, that's the end of that article. Let's read a little bit more. A rural Georgia monument that some conservative Christians have criticized as satanic and that others have dubbed America's Stonehenge was bombed before dawn on Wednesday in an attack that turned one of its 4 granite panels into rubble. The Georgia Guidestones monument near Alberton was damaged by an explosive device, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said. The Elbert County Emergency Management Agency said the explosion was seen on video cameras shortly after 4 a.m. Pictures and aerial video show the destroyed panel on the ground. Well, again, according to this video, maybe that's like 4 a.m. So it's like 4:03.33 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So 4:03. That's what time it happened. Okay. after prior vandalism, because this thing had been like spray painted before. There had already been things. Video cameras connected to the county's emergency dispatch center were stationed at the site. Said the Elbert Granite Association executive vice president Chris Kubas. The enigmatic roadside attraction was built in 1980 from local granite, commissioned by an unknown person or group under the pseudonym R.C. Christian. Yes, that's another part of it. And I wonder if it mentions it here in this article, or if we can see it. R.C. Let's do Christian. Not Christian Homestead. History. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached the Albertan Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans. And because they are, these are American values. And commissioned the structure. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock, and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. Joe Fenley of Albertan Granite assumed that Christian was a nut and attempted to discourage him by providing a quote for the commission that was several times higher than any project the company had previously taken, explaining that the Guidestones would require additional tools and consultants. To Fenley's surprise, Christian really wanted it. Christian accepted the quote. When arranging payment, Christian said that he represented a group that had been planning the Guidestones for 20 years and wanted to remain anonymous. And then later, he was murdered. Just kidding. Christian delivered a scale model of the Guidestones and 10 pages of specifications. The 5-acre or 2-hectare site was apparently purchased by Christian on October 1st, 1979, from farm owner Wayne Mulinix, or Mulinix, I don't know. Mulinix and his children were given lifetime cattle grazing rights on the Guidestone site. On March 22nd, 1980, the monument was unveiled before an audience variously described as 100 or 400 people. Who knows? Christian later transferred the ownership of the land to the Guidestones to Elbert County. Okay. So it became just county land, I guess. So it was vandalized in 2008 with graffiti and stuff. September 2014, an employee of Elbert County Maintenance Department contacted the FBI when the stones were vandalized with graffiti, including the phrase, there's a phrase. So a lot of, animosity toward these stones. There was a small group of loyal Americans that really wanted this to happen, so much so that they planned it for 20 years and accepted, whatever, we'll pay for it. It doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. Okay, there's footnote 2. This takes you to American Stonehenge, monumental instructions for the post-apocalypse. Let's go to that. So stupid. This is from Wired magazine, or Wired, the website. So that's where they got that source from. Okay. So let's check the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying here. Let me know what you think. What do you think now? Now, for those of you who said no, what do you think now? Do you like it? Let's see. Percept says, perhaps we will find out who put up these mysterious stones. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen now? Because this group, however much money they spent, that's all gone down the tube. So are they going to make it again? Are they going to change location? Are they going to come out and be like, hey, you guys, you didn't really need to do this? I don't know. Lord Boffa says secret combinations and agenda. Watch Netflix series Stranger Things. Oh yeah. Yeah. You guys, like I've said many times, and I know some of you probably think it's crazy, but they like to put stuff, these secret combinations, they like to put things in movies and TV. And I have different theories why they do that. The one that makes the most sense to me is that for the same reason that, just like with the Georgia Guidestones, they made first a little small model of it first, right? To see how it would look. A lot of times you do like a small scale thing before, or at least a rendition before you make the final thing. So if you have power and you have control and you permeate society, why not use Hollywood and be like, hey, we need you to make a movie, about this, put these details in here, just simply as a mental exercise to kind of like visualize, okay, how would this play out? What would people's perception be of this plan that we have? Another reason could be to kind of like condition your mind. So say that they have this planned and they tell Hollywood, hey, make a movie about this, like this right here. And that way you watch the movie, and then when this happens, it doesn't seem as bad. So there's not as much of an uproar. Or people can be like, oh, you're just thinking of that movie. It's not a big deal. Like you're thinking crazy like that movie over there. It's only this. So I think there's different reasons why they do it. But yeah, Stranger Things. I will say Stranger Things actually is a good show, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I haven't watched the latest season, but I'm probably going to do it. Christian themes everywhere. Yep. There's a scene last episode of... if there are spoilers here, Lord Boffa, last episodes of season 4 where the main character... spoilers, dude. Lord Boffa, I'm gonna... Spoilers. It's okay. Just come on now. Melissa Wilson. The stones were placed here 42 years ago. I wonder if the future date can still be placed in the stone, or if that part of the stone was destroyed. Are you talking about the time capsule? Because I'm pretty sure the time capsule is okay. It doesn't... Let's take a look at these. I don't think we can tell from these videos at all. So I don't know if the time capsule, if that's what you're referring to, if it's still intact. But anyway. Ray Morgan, in my humble opinion, Brother Ken Bauer's videos and books about the secret combinations are extraordinarily in the explanation of our current situation. Cool. So everybody check that out. I myself, I'm very open to all possibilities. I don't have, like, I'm not part of any group, so I can't say anything for certain. All we can kind of do is like look at the clues and think of possibilities.
Right.
So who knows what's actually going on.
Melissa was saying there's another stone that's set apart from there that has the dates on it and the heights and just information about the stones. It's separate, and she's wondering, or it doesn't have the date inscribed.
Yeah.
She's wondering if the date can still be inscribed, or if that stone was destroyed, because it was.
Yeah,
separate.
that's what I was just talking about.
You're talking about the time capsule.
Yeah, because the time capsule is underneath it.
I know, but she was asking if that stone.
I don't know. I said I didn't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I ruined everything. Whatever.
Percept. Granite runs through Georgia. It's pretty common here. Rebecca, do you think this structure just might pop up again, replaced? I wouldn't be surprised if it would. I wouldn't be surprised. They obviously wanted it there really bad, and I doubt that whoever that group was is gone. So I wouldn't be surprised. Ray Morgan, Secret Combinations by Ken Bowers, also the author of Hiding in Plain Sight. Teresa Lane, I wonder too, will this group do something else now? Teresa Lane, yes, Hollywood is conditioning us. Yeah, I think they do. I know for a fact that they do certain things that aren't so secret. They do work with the military and the intelligence communities, and they like there's this YouTube channel called Life is a Special Operation, and it's I think he's a retired lieutenant colonel from U.S. Army Special Forces, and he talks about like a lot of things about the military and his experience, and he does like little breakdowns of like just everything military, and he was talking about the difference between these like you have things that are so you have overt, which is like if you're attacking something, it's obvious who the attacker is, and then you have covert, where while it's happening, you don't necessarily know who it is or that it's coming, but then afterwards you do know who it was, so it's a covert. But then clandestine, it would be more defined. So you have overt, covert, clandestine, or clandestine, which is something happens and you don't really know who did it or necessarily what even happened. And so an example that he gave of that is that the military contacts Hollywood, and they want them to make a movie that will encourage the youth to enlist in the military. And then the movie is made, and then recruitment numbers go up, right? And it's funny because actually I think that's actually what happened with Top Gun Maverick, because okay, hold on. Recruiting numbers are up. My mom had told me that she saw a story where actually recruiting numbers have gone up since Top Gun. Because you can see right here, if you can see my screen, this is June 27th, so this is just a little while ago. Every branch of the U.S. military is struggling to meet its 2022 recruiting goals. She said, I'll have to see if I can find it sometime, maybe, but I guess recruiting numbers have gone up according to what she read. And it's funny because there's this meme, Navy recruiter Top Gun meme. I've got it. You've got to see this. This is hilarious. Here it is. Okay, so let me put it up on the screen. Okay. Tuesday, May 31st, 2022, at every Navy recruiter's office. This is like when Top Gun came out. And the guy's like, so I'll be flying the Super Hornet like Top Gun, right? And the recruiter's like, that's correct. 1 year later. One year later. Sorry. that cracks. Oh my gosh. That cracks me up because I've seen this happen in real life. Where you have like in the Army, they have a program where you can try out for special forces, for example. So if you meet the qualifications, they give you a temporary code called I think it was 11 X-ray, like 11X. So like when I was in the Army, my job was supply. I was a unit supply specialist. So my MOS was 92 Yankee or 92Y. So they give him like this designation, a temporary designation. And I think it's 11 X-ray. And, it's hard. Trying out for special forces, it's hard. So if you fail, and I think if I remember right, with a lot of those like contracts, if you fail, if you don't pass, then you end up doing whatever the Army or the Navy or whatever they want you to do. And so it's really kind of a gambit on your part, because either you succeed and you get a really good, awesome job, or more than likely, you become a cook. Or, it could just be that the recruiter just straight up lies to you. It happens. Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite memes I've ever seen. So I'm going to be flying the Super Hornet like Top Gun, right? That's correct. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, so Hollywood. Yeah. They do. And I think there's different groups that use them. It's not just all completely nefarious people. I think there's different groups. It's a tool. It's a very powerful tool. When you think about, have you ever thought about it this way? When we go to the temple, we literally watch a movie. Plays, movies, they're used to teach lessons. And they can touch you in a very profound way, and sometimes on a subconscious level. So, if we go to the temple and we go through an endowment session and we have that experience, what are we doing when we go to a movie theater? What is it that's going into our mind? What's going into our subconscious? And when I say subconscious, I'm not talking about like secret coded messages, but like sometimes it could just be the conveyance of a feeling, or like maybe an attitude toward a certain thing, or like just kind of subtly trying to change your point of view on an issue, right? So, and I'm not saying don't go watch movies. I went and saw the last movie I saw was Top Gun, and it was awesome, and thankfully it had relatively little brainwashing in it. Thankfully, it's probably the best movie I've seen in a long time, where it's like an actual real movie, with like a real story, and it just like it was basic, just good, because it feels like Hollywood has like lost the ability to do that for a long time. We're not producing great movies like were produced back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's like occasionally it happens, but so it kind of stood out, even though it was a soft reboot, which is where like it's not a reboot, but it's like a continuation, picking something up that was dead and bringing it back to life. So, Phil and Malia waits. Off the subject, have you read the talk in July Leahona about temple ordinances, preparing for the second coming from Elder Bednar? It's so good. That might just have to be the video that I do tomorrow. I'm gonna have to look at that. Ray Conger points out a bad group. Teresa Lane, Top Gun Maverick, the best movie ever. Or sorry, I assumed ever because of the 3 exclamation marks. The best movie, or sorry, 4 exclamation marks, and then a smiley face with like hearts for eyes. Melissa Wilson, laugh out loud. Indy, ha, like that. Teresa Lane, there'll be a sequel. Oh, really? There'll be a sequel. Hangman, the new Maverick, and Rooster, the new Goose. Are you being serious? I wouldn't be opposed to that. Teresa Lane, Elvis is a really good movie too. Great acting. Sad ending though. Oh, I think I saw a trailer for that, if it's the same one that you're talking about. Lisa Gomez, yes, from West Jordan, Utah. Okay, so yeah. Even though it probably made a lot of people feel good that this happened to the Guidestones, I can't say that I do not condone it, and I don't recommend anybody else do anything like this. You do get a little bit. I mean, just look at that picture. You do get a little bit. Look at the blast. You can see like the dirt radiating out, like being pushed out like that. Um, okay, so it happened. That's all I'll say. It happened, but we should not do that. We should not do that. Ray Conger, condone vandalism, but not sorry about it. Percept, it's the beginning of the great and spacious building falling. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. That would be great. That would be a great way to kick it off. At least like visually. Again, not that this was right to do. It's not right to commit crime. You can't commit crime. But I think we're all waiting for that. We would all love to see the great and spacious building fall. We would all like to see King Nebuchadnezzar's statue get destroyed by the stone that comes out from the mountain, made without hands. We want to see it happen. And it feels like every day that goes by, we're just getting closer and closer. All right, we got 61 people here. Sorry about the coughing. I don't know what's going on with me. Teresa Lane, do you think they'll find the person who did this? I think so. Okay. I don't know what their capabilities are, but I'm pretty sure that car, you could see it pretty good. Let's go back to that video. I feel like you can make out this car pretty well. So, you see that it has a sunroof. So that might help narrow down the model, the color. You might be able to determine the make. So I feel like a logical start would be like, okay, let's look. This is does anyone know what kind of car that is? Can you make out what kind of car that is? Is it a Toyota? Anyway, let's just say it's like a Toyota, a silver Toyota sedan with a sunroof. And I don't know, maybe they'll be able to narrow it down and look at people living nearby. One interesting thing that I heard on another channel is it was done by a resident of that county, and he said that people have access to explosives used in mining operations, so it's likely, or it wouldn't be too surprising if it was like somebody that worked at a mine that maybe took some from work and then decided to do that. So that might be one way. Maybe they'll be able to determine what kind of explosive was used and be like, wait a minute, this is a mining explosive, and then go to the local quarries and be like, hey, do you have any missing employees, or do you have anyone that drives a silver Toyota, whatever? So I feel like the chances are pretty good, but I don't know, because I'm not like a law enforcement person at all. So everyone put in the chat, put a yes if you think that this person or people will get caught. Put a no if you don't think that they will. Brian Fife, yes, heard all about them, but learned from logic before authority that they were struck by lightning, that way they were bombed. He says the way they were destroyed, it was not by man, but by God. Oh, no, I was watching something else. I don't know if you were here. I don't think you were here earlier, Brian Fife, but there is actually a video of it being destroyed, and it's this one right here. And it was it's pretty clear that it wasn't lightning or anything like that. So it definitely seems like it was actually done by a person, and that this is the suspect's vehicle. So Kim K says probably stolen. Brian Fife, logic before authority, it was supernatural. Melissa Wilson does not think that these people will be caught. Percept says he could get caught. If he was one of the 3 Nephites, he wouldn't get caught. I'm not sure that the 3 Nephites go on missions like that, but who the heck knows? Pat Bowen says yes, that they will get caught. I just feel like it. I feel like it would be hard to not get caught doing this. I don't know if like the security footage, how good it was, but if we go back to this camera, and I don't know how many cameras there are either, because there's this one that we're looking from here, and then you can see another pole over here with something right here. So there might be multiple security cameras, and obviously the security cameras are here for just such an occasion. So I'm not aware of anywhere where you can see like anything other than this one video that was released by the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. But they might have footage of who it was. I don't know. Percept. Okay, no. Brian Fife, Bonners Ferry, Idaho. That's where Brian Fife is from. So, yeah. Okay, I think I'm probably going to wrap things up. Unless anyone else has anything else to say. Presentment, I mean, Moses did destroy the statue of the Israelites, but that was their own property. You could say that it was Israelite property, and Moses, being the leader, had the authority to do that. Are there times that you can think of in the scriptures where other property was destroyed? Outside of just like outside of war, because obviously Israel had wars with other nations, but like I don't think like, you know, a renegade anything like this has happened, or like a prophet has ever done anything like this. Excuse me. So there you have it. There's the Georgia Guidestones. You can read more about it. I'll put all these sources down in the description below. I you know, I've actually imagined this scenario. I think most people that, you know about these probably have imagined this exact scenario happening, and it's crazy to actually see it having happened. Someone actually did it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens after this. If there's updates, I'll bring it to you. You know, if you don't see it first, I'll bring it to you. Percept, Samson destroyed the Philistines' property. All right. I don't want to draw any more parallels between this and the scriptures, because I don't think that that's right, but that's funny. These do look like big pillars. I would really like to know what's in the time capsule, because I guess that's like another possible outcome. I wonder if like the group that owns this, if they're like, you know what, we're not going to spend another, I don't know, $5 million to do this again. So let's just go ahead. We'll keep ourselves secret, but let's have them open up the the time capsule. Or, you know, if they really do believe that something's going to happen to humanity, they may feel that it is their responsibility to go ahead and rebuild this. For all anybody knows, maybe they have a fund, you know, like they have some kind of like emergency account when their plans get foiled, or when something like this happens. So if they do, maybe they can tap into that really quick and then just rebuild this. Teresa Lane, we live in unprecedented times for sure. Crazy stuff happening all around. Yes, it is. Pauline so we got Brian Fife and Pauline Fife here. Okay. Are you a couple? Pauline Fife says, yes, I know. I couldn't be happier if they have been pulverized. Well, at least for right now, in case you didn't see it earlier in the stream, they have been demolished for safety purposes, for safety reasons. Here's a video that actually shows it happening, and that's going to be in the description below in case you want to actually watch it. And then there's this news crew here that shows the field, and you can see in the background there's just like all the rubble back there. So yeah, so I guess another question is, if this land belongs to the county now, and then the group approached them, if they're like, hey, can we please rebuild it? Maybe the county would just be like, yes, okay. Or maybe I would assume the county would probably say yes. That's my guess. So I don't know. But here's the other side of it. You know, whoever did this, if they get caught, they've basically ruined their life. You know, because this is obviously this is this would obviously be a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. So, and I don't know. Again, I'm not a legal expert. You can put down in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this later what you think. But I wonder if there would be jail time associated with this. I wouldn't be surprised. There's got to be jail time associated with this. You know, this could be labeled the T word, maybe. I haven't seen any of that. Well, no, probably not. I haven't seen that in any articles so far. They haven't been using the T word. Melissa Wilson, maybe someone blew it up trying to stop something. That would be a good movie. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah, because there's like a theory out there that maybe they have a plan to make the 7 billion come down to 500 million. And so maybe they themselves have some kind of plan to like release something, and then whatever. So if someone stopped that, then that's great. Linda Eggeman says yes, absolutely. So, okay. Is there anybody out there, anyone in the chat that's interested in like sharing their conversion story? Like either email it to me or doing an interview, because I want to do like a little series of people's conversion stories from other churches, because maybe that could help somebody that comes across the video that's thinking about going from, you know, like Presbyterian to our church or Lutheran to our church or whatever. So if there's anyone, let me know. Email me. Okay. Well, I'm running out of daylight. I have to go outside and do some crap. So, with weeds that are growing along the fence. So I got to go now, guys. But hopefully some of you know what the Georgia Guidestones are. We'll watch this story. If you have any additional comments, feel free to put it in the comments below after this. Email me if you're interested in sharing your conversion story. And that's going to be it. Hope you all have a good night. And I'll have a video. The video that I was going to do, I'll schedule it for tomorrow morning. It has to do with, church publications and the process that church publications go through. There's basically like this, there's like a correlation committee that makes sure that everything's doctrinally sound. But I do like a whole big thing on that. I did a whole big thing on that. It's going to be out tomorrow morning. I'll schedule it for 6 a.m. Central Time. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be really good. You'll enjoy it. All right. Thanks for everybody for joining me. I'll talk to you guys later.